When I'm running out of the room, Tyree is literally falling into the room as he's being shot. He was shot 16 times.
20-year-old Tyree Richardson thought he was walking into his own home. Instead, he walked into 16 bullets. The man who pulled that trigger? He was in bed with Tyree's baby mother. But when Autumn Anderson decided to defend herself on social media, she might have just confessed to murder. Her own words, her own timeline, her own admission that this wasn't the random tragedy everyone thought it was. This is the story of a young father who loved too hard and paid with his life for believing that family meant everything. Because while Tyree was fighting to save his relationship, two people were planning his destruction. At 3:28 a.m. on June 13, 2022, Tyree Richardson used his door code to enter what he still considered his family's home. He took off his shoes before walking upstairs, a father planning to sleep in his home, probably hoping to see his son in the morning. What he found was the woman he loved in bed with another man, Terrence Kenneth Yancey, who went by Trey. By 3:32 a.m., Tyree Richardson was dead, shot 16 times with most bullets hitting him in the back. The forensic evidence tells the real story. The autopsy revealed Tyree was shot while lying on the bed, not standing in a doorway as initially claimed. Multiple bullets struck him in the back, suggesting he wasn't facing his attacker. 16 shots in a house with family sleeping nearby. While paramedics were desperately trying to save Tyree's life over the phone, you can hear Autumn in the background calling for the family dog. "Come on, baby, come on." A man, the father of her child, was dying in front of her, and she was concerned about finding a pet. Terrence Kenneth Yancey fled immediately but was captured within 24 hours. The prosecution offered him a plea deal, 3 to 8 years, for taking someone's life that was an insult to Tyree's family. But Terrence turned down the plea deal. Why? Because he genuinely believed he'd done nothing wrong. He felt justified emptying his clip into an unarmed man who'd taken his shoes off. During trial, the forensic evidence was damning. Bullet trajectory showed some shots were fired downward, indicating Terrence stood over Tyree as he lay wounded. The homeowner testified that Tyree lived there, contradicting claims he was an unwelcome intruder. The jury convicted Terrence of voluntary manslaughter and firearms violations, 18 years in prison. But for Tyree's family, this was just the beginning. They knew something wasn't right about this whole situation, because this wasn't just a tragic case of domestic violence gone wrong.
I'm Tyree's mom, Lindsay, and
I'm his father, Roger.
So we just wanted to take this opportunity to come on his page and, kind of talk about this journey that we have been on. We want to kind of give some of the back history to what caused us to take this journey. And we also wanted to take this opportunity to clarify some of the things that are going out. So first and foremost, I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. When we started this journey on April 1st, I personally did not expect the response that we received. I always knew Tyree was loved, but I didn't know he was loved this way. So 2 years later, give me a second. 2 years later, I have finally decided to tell his story. People that have never been through this can't judge me. They can't tell you the pain that I experience daily. It's a feeling when you wake up every single morning and your heart is broke, and you look forward to going to bed every single night just so that's the only relief of pain that you get. And that's 2 years later. So when I decided to share Tyree's story, it was for the benefit of his son, Cody. A couple weeks ago, I decided that I was gonna stop my attempts for trying to see his son. The reasoning for that and the reasoning for all of this was through everything that happened, through all the situations, through court, through all of that, I always wanted to keep his son's best interests forefront. I didn't care about nothing else. I didn't care about who did what, who said what, who felt some type of way about me. I didn't care about any of that. All I cared about was Cody, making sure Cody was straight, the way that I knew that my son loved him. And so after attempts of trying to see him, I was disrespected one time too many. And people that know me, people that really know me, know that I could take a lot, but I'm not going to take but so much. And so I had to accept the fact that Cody, when he gets older, whenever that is, I wanted him to search for his father and find out the truth. And so that's how this story started. So, again, ever since Tyree's death, especially after his trial, I was approached several times on telling his story, whether right, wrong, indifferent. And I always said no. Like, I don't want to share this story. I want to just make sure, the people that's involved, everybody's protected. Then after that last attempt, I put my guards down and I said, let's just do what we got to do. So when the story first started, the first couple days, I was behind Tyree's page. I was the one celebrating, talking about him, talking about his life and his legacy and all of that type of stuff. One of my good girlfriends is a publicist, and she said, we have to make sure that this is done correctly, legally, correctly. If we're going to tell it, we're going to tell it correctly. So she took over the story, and we both want to thank her, because when she took over the story took a complete change. It's on national levels. When I tell you, I see every DM you guys send. We love you. Whether you send it to his page, whether you send it to me, whether you send it to his dad, whether you text me, whether you call me, we get them. And I can't answer everybody, but I do want to let you know that I appreciate it, because this is exactly what he would have wanted. As you guys know, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time speaking on irrelevancy, because a lot of it's irrelevant, but as you guys know, Tyree was murdered on June the 13th. Whatever variations of the story you want to believe, it doesn't matter to me, but he was murdered in a place that he thought he called home. Okay, he was at this place that he rested his head at, and he thought it was his home. So for whatever reason that took him to that place that night, I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not in his mind. I can only go on what preceded him and what I learned after the fact. And what we learned after the fact through his messages, through all of his attempts he didn't go to that residence by no accounts expecting what he expected. As a parent, I have always made it my duty to allow my kids. We felt like we raised our kids to be family oriented. They have one mother, one father. We have 4 children together. We didn't show them. Hold on one second. We didn't show them indecencies. We always showed them how important family was. Whether you argue, whether you fight, like, it's important to have that backbone in your family. So we taught them that at an early age. It's evident from his attempts is he was trying the same thing for his family. One thing that I can say that I regret is allowing him to try to find his way for someone who did not want what he wanted. And I wish if I could go back 2 years that I could have told him that you're better. You're a lot better than that. Like, I don't care what you do, what you say, you deserve so much better. He made it a point to keep his family business away from us, which rightfully so. His problems, he didn't never really share with us. And I wish he would have, because I could have gave him motherly advice that could have possibly saved his life. So if I want to talk about what I regret, that's what I regret. I feel like he lost his life for the love of his life. And I honestly feel that. No matter what she says or what she does, she can't change that. She knows. No matter what, she knows deep down. Whatever she wants to portray for the internet, that's on her. Whatever she wants to portray for the masses, that's on her. But deep down in her heart, she absolutely knows what the truth was. Now, a few things we do want to clarify. I never said that she set him up. We told the story. The story as we learned it in court, after court, through detectives. The social media took the black and white and came to with their own conclusion of what happened. So don't blame social media and what's actually portrayed as the truth that we kept a secret to hide behind that. And at the end of the day, her family, his family will never, ever feel the way that we feel, because they didn't lose a child. If you don't know what it's like to be heartbroken every single day, you can't judge me. You can't judge his father. We hold each other up every single day. When we wake up, he goes to work and he'll send me a message and say, I want to encourage you today. It's those things that keep me going each day. As a parent, you should never have to bury your child and then have to bury your child and have to deal with the pain after you bury your child. When people make fun of somebody else's death, God has his own vengeance. That's not a vengeance for me. That's not a vengeance for him, and that's not a vengeance for our angel. God will handle his own vengeance. God knows exactly what happened, exactly what the intentions were, and exactly what the expectations were. I'm not here to judge anyone. So no matter what she says about me or my family, it's irrelevant. Words, when we grew up, my mother always told me words don't hurt you. Your words will never hurt me. What you did do that hurt me was you took something that was important, which was my son. So you can say whatever you want to say. You can never give me back what I brought into this world. And then to laugh it off, you and whoever else, I want you to understand, and I want to say this clearly, it's not a game. It's not a game. It's only two people in this world that I wish this pain on. Two. And I have friends and I have enemies. You can be my enemy and I still wouldn't wish this type of pain on you. But there are two people. And those two people are the murderer, his mother. She needs to feel my pain. I wish every day that I go to bed that when she wakes up, she feels this pain. Because she will never understand the pain that a mother has to bury. She'll never understand that until she goes through it. She gets to see her son. She gets to call her son. She gets to put money on his commissary. She gets to see him in 15 years or however many years when he comes home. So she'll never understand my pain. The only other person is her mom. The reason why her mom needs to experience this pain is because as a mother, you can't justify you can't make light of what your child did. And until you experience one of your children being buried, you're never going to understand my pain. You're never going to understand my purpose because it hasn't happened to you. Right now, your only focus is to protect your child, not realizing your child puts other people in a situation to lose their child. So I don't expect you to feel my pain. But one day, when you do, whether you admit it or not, you'll say, I understand how she felt and why she felt that way. Until then, you'll never understand the pain that we experience. So again, I personally want to thank everybody that has reached out. My God, the support, the state's attorney, the support of people calling in is unbelievable. Unbelievable. The detectives knew what they were dealing with. They knew it wasn't all truth to the story. But sometimes timing is everything, right? Timing is everything. So we decide to celebrate Tyree's life, his legacy. You feel like you have to defend yourself. And in defending yourself, you actually tell some of the truths that was never told before. And what you have to realize, you should never forget what you say or do. Because one thing is when you're honest, the truth is the truth. Whether it's now or 2 years later, you're never going to forget what you say. When you're not honest, you end up telling on yourself. And you end up telling the truth. So whatever that may be, I'm going to pray for you. Because you need it. And at the end of the day, what's coming, you deserve. Now, anybody that knows me, and nobody can tell you no different, they can do an interview, 2, 4, 20 of them. I don't care what you do. One thing you'll never be able to do in those interviews is pull any black and white on what Tyree's mother, ever said in a disrespectful manner to anybody. I always kept a clear conscience for the support of my son and his memory. I never, ever, whether I felt it or not, whether I believed it or not, I never, ever called you out your name, disrespected you, said anything negative about you, ever. And I don't have no reason to lie. I'm 45 years old. Now, ask me today, no, I don't like you. Now I watch what has happened. I absolutely don't like you. And I understand why you felt like I shouldn't have liked you. Because you always felt in your guilty conscience, you always felt that his family didn't like you. Now I see why. And I don't. And the world knows it now. Prior to this moment, I never felt that way. But now that you showed me who I always knew you were, I'm letting you know I don't. And I understand why you will have to lie and portray that my family is this evil people that we were never were to you. You live with us. You didn't live with your parents. You didn't live with your family. You live with us. We took care of you when you had nobody else to take care of you. We never turned our back on you when you had nobody else. Let's be absolutely clear. Your mother wasn't there. I didn't meet your mother till 2 years after you was with Tyree. If we're telling the truth, let's tell it. You were in my house. You ate my food. You laid in my bed. And then to say that this family who took you in as their own are these evil people, you're absolutely crazy. And I hope that you get the help that you absolutely deserve, because you need help. You need a lot of help. Because in your mind, what you believed about us is what we should have believed about you. And that's what you have shown us. You've shown us all of these mean things that you and your family have portrayed against my family is how we should have felt. How we should have felt. And thank you for showing me that. Because sometimes it takes time to show people who you absolutely are. But one thing is, once you show me once, you don't never have to show me again. Ever. Because I understand exactly what's in front of me. So, in this story, this is the absolute truth. Tyree walked into their home. He was murdered. There were two stories. One was that the person who murdered him waited for him to enter the room and shot him multiple times. He emptied the clip. He shot 16 times. The story soon changed when forensic evidence came out. And the forensic evidence stated that the person stood over the bed and shot at him. That's the absolute truth. So whether they were up, sleep, I don't know, but that is what happened. Okay? After he was shot, because that's what he is to me, calling the murderer. The murderer went on about his business, and the girl, whatever she is, asked her sister to call 911. The 911 tape was revealed. There was a few attempts to try to resuscitate him. The dog, the family dog that lived in the house, was more important than my son's body. Laying dead. She was looking for her dog. Whatever the dog, King, whatever the name was in the 911 tape, it says she's yelling out the door for the dog. My son is laying in the bedroom, dead. The reason why I share this is I don't care. It could be anybody. I don't have to know you. If a person is laying in front of me, lifeless, I'm going to make every attempt that I possibly can to try to save that person. At no point will an animal be more important than a lifeless body. At no point. Once that happened, I was called. As you saw from the transcript, I was called before 911 was called. We immediately got to try to figure out how to get there. I've never been to this house before, so I was asking for the address. In trying to get to this location, I'm calling my son. I'm calling everybody, like 911, like, we got to get here. I don't know what's going on. We have to get here. I was initially told, and I will never forget this, ever forget this. My exact words when I picked up the phone was, screaming and hollering. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? It was 3:32 a.m. Do you know just about every single day I wake up at 3:32 a.m.? Just about every single day since that happened, I wake up at that exact time. It was screaming and hollering. And she said, oh my, Tyree's been shot. And I'm like, what happened? Oh my God, is he okay? It's the first thing I said, is he okay? She said, no. And I'm like, what happened? She said, someone ran in here and shot him. It's like, quote, unquote. I immediately called my son because they were together. So I'm like, did someone follow him home? I'm frantic. Like, I'm going off. And my son is like, I don't know. Like, he left the club. And so we were trying to figure it out. Through all of that, when we arrived on the scene, it was 2 officers. So I'm like, what hospital did he go to? Again, these are things I will never, ever forget. Ever forget. And the officer said, he's not at a hospital. So what you mean he's not at a hospital? What hospital? Like, I'm freaking out. I'm screaming, hollering. So he's in the house. So at that point is when we knew he had passed away. My exact next question to the officer is, did you find out who did it? Did you find out who did it? And his exact words to me was, her boyfriend. At that time, to me, that was news. So, fast forward a week forward, Tyree called me. We were in Jamaica, and he said, Ma, I need to come home. And I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, I just need to get her space. We got some stuff going on. Like, I don't want to be here. It's his exact words. I have text messages. Through that, I said, of course, absolutely. Like, I'm never going to turn my back on my kids, ever. Absolutely. Come get. He said, me and Cody. Him and Cody. They didn't come Monday. They didn't come Tuesday. They still lived in that home those days. Wednesday is the first night of that week that he spent in our address. Through that, through the couple days, they were cordial. They were talking. I shared some of his last stories. Like, he was normal. He was normal. He was not what was portrayed of him. Stories don't lie. Text messages don't lie. Like, I can't make this up. That Saturday, he was walking around because he couldn't get in contact with Cody. He was like moping. He was like, I don't know what's going on. I can't get in contact with Cody. He's supposed to be in Florida. He's trying to figure out what's actually going on. He wanted to talk to his son. He has messages to her sister. Like, is Cody with y'all? Is he okay? Like, that's what a normal person is supposed to do that care about their son. You know how many young people out here that don't take care of their kids or not family? He cared. He cared about his family. So through that, again, they conversated throughout Sunday. They conversated throughout the day. They went back and forth. Some of the messages were shared. He, by no means, had the impression that they weren't together. Okay, so we've been married 25 years. We ain't been together a lot of times during the 25 years, but have we ever really, like, not been together? Like, let's be honest. 25 years. That's how long we've been married. How many times have we not been together in 25 years? But we still sitting right here today. So this completely broken up, not together, I'm sure that's not what he actually believed in his heart. Hers, maybe. Then, so I don't give views because at the end of the day, to be honest with you, I ain't watch video 1 or 2 because it don't matter. You won't get a like or a view from me. But I did hear some bits and pieces about it. You say on that particular video, when you talk about my son, my deceased son, who was your caretaker, when you talk about him, you say, you know how people do back and forth. We all know what we doing. We all with different people. No, I don't know that. You know that? Oh, yeah, we don't understand that. I'm sure our son didn't either. He wasn't really raised like that. He wasn't raised with him and his siblings having like different fathers, back and forth, not in the home. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't raised like that. So where you insinuated that everybody should know, how people do, we don't know that. So I'm sure he didn't. I could speak for him on that. So when we went to trial is when most of this stuff opened up. Now, the murderer was offered a plea deal. He was offered
3 to 8.
3 to 8 years. 3 to 8 years. He turned it down because honestly, in his heart, he felt he did nothing wrong. He felt like he was defending what he thought was his family. I don't know why, but he did. So he turned down the plea deal. Right before trial, I was contacted by his attorney asking if we would, so the family has to be a part of the plea deal. Like, you have to be a part of the agreement. So trial was supposed to start on Monday. We were contacted Friday, late Friday evening, asking was the deal still on the table. And what did we say? No, I can't.
I was thinking about it, but the lawyer said no.
Right. So he was thinking about taking that deal. He probably should have, but he didn't. But God works in mysterious ways. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why God works in mysterious ways. If he would have took that deal, we would not have known none of the stuff that we know today. If he would have took that deal, we wouldn't have known the before and after of what we know today. And as much as it hurt us to sit there in court, not only seeing our son's body shot up, because in trial you see the real life pictures, not only seeing him laying there with a bullet to the back of his head, with a bullet to his neck, with 14 bullets to his back. Not only did it hurt us to see that, we learned the truth behind the story. And as hard as it was for us to accept the truth, we learned the truth. We had to sit through testimony. Different people testified. And one of the testimonies were the owner of the home. Her testimony said Tyree lived there. Contrary to what's being told today. Cody's mom was on stand for 2 days. We have 789 pages of transcript. Y'all only saw 14 pages. 14. A transcript is a public record that anybody can obtain. You can hear word for word her story out of her own mouth. I don't have to tell her story. She told her own story. We didn't make this up. We didn't ask for this and we didn't make this up. We have no reason to lie. None at all. Then you heard his story on what he felt like happened. And he didn't really have a story, honestly. He was just as dumb as he looked on the stand. And he honestly looks like somebody that just don't know no better. Like, he just was caught up, just like Tyree was. They was caught up in these looks, material stuff, and they thought they hit the jackpot. And really, both of them hit bankrupt. Both of them. So what may seem like is good is not always good. And I hope that from his story, it changes somebody's life. We have had so many DMs. Oh my God, this is happening to me. I need to get out. Like, please save yourself. Nobody and nothing is worth your life. He was such a good individual. No matter what these people say about us, our family is unbreakable. And if you don't know that by now, you should know that. Your little words of talking about our family don't hurt us. That actually inspire us to go a little bit harder on you. You can't hurt us. You can't break us. We still standing. So you can say he didn't like his family Okay, that's what you think. I don't have a point to prove. I don't have to prove who my son was to me. He don't got to prove who his son was to him. His brothers don't got to prove who he was to them. That's your misconception. And that's because you came from a broken family and you don't know what a family is. So therefore, we expect someone to say that because of how you feel. So us telling this story has opened up so much light on the case again. So thank you. Continue sharing it. Continue calling. Continue celebrating Tyree's life. Continue. If you don't think it's making a difference, it's making a huge difference. And that's nobody but him above. Nobody. That is Tyree above causing the havoc that he has always caused. Because he's saying, I'm not going to let you. One thing about him, he ain't play about me. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. He will go to the war about his mother. And when that person sent me that message on March 25th, I didn't share it with nobody. Did I share it with you? Mm-mm. I didn't share it with my daughter. I didn't share it with my sons because I already know who they are and what they about. If they would have saw the level of disrespect that was given to me on the message, they saw it when it was posted online. Their raw emotions came when same time you saw it. I'm not messy like that. She sent that message. I said, oh, this what we doing? Okay. Because this big back, whatever she called me, I got you, boo. And by me having you, before I went to custody for his son, I told Miles, I said, I don't want to take Cody from his only surviving parent. I had all the evidence in the world to take Cody. If I could do things again, would I? Probably so. But guess what? Them tables gonna turn. And what seems like something today is not gonna stay that way forever. I was given anonymously, over 3,000 hours of recording after Tyree's death that will write her own fate. And it don't got nothing to do with Tyree. It's her lifestyle that she chose to live. You heard some of the recording, so I have no reason. I'm not making it up. I wouldn't have had a recording of her and her new boyfriend if that wasn't given to me. I wouldn't have a recording of her telling Cody, fuck ZZ. And you know, I had to look at this girl every time she brought Cody to me, knowing she teaching my grandson to say that about me. But God had a better plan, and he got a better plan for me. Fuck ZZ inspires me because it shows me how much I really mean to you. That you would teach your 2-year-old son, to be disrespectful to his blood. How would I get that? I wasn't with you. I wasn't in the car with y'all. And you know what you said in those cars. You know what you said in those homes. So you know what I got. And we're going to leave that there and we're going to let that case take its own way for you and whoever else that's involved. Sometimes timing is everything. People write their own fate. What you thought you got away with today, you'll pay for it in another way, and it may not even be Tyree's murder. You cannot be out on the street, walking the streets, and living a foul life. I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what you do. I don't care. Because one thing you can't do, when it comes to mine, I'm going to do what's necessary.
Like she said, I'm Tyree's dad. I've been intaking a lot of this stuff. A lot of this stuff I've been preparing, looking over, watching things before they viewed, looking at a lot of scenarios. A lot of people here know me and know how I am. I'm a real laid-back type of parent, definitely. Never force my ill will on my kids to tell them what to do or what not to do, what to say or what not to say. I let them grow on their own. But I want to say this to everybody that's out there. Be careful who you let in your house. And that's how I am. Because you got to be real cautious who come in your home. Because the same people that eat at your table is the same people that are shit on your table. And I make myself clear. I don't have to stump for nobody. Most of my good friends and my good people that know me and my family, that know how I am, I always been about family. And my son carried the same traits. From the day his son was born to the day he was murdered, he had his son in his care. Nobody could tell him nothing different. He didn't leave his son for nothing. The same way I raised him. For me, and like I say, you know who you are. You can talk greasy as you want to greasy about me. You don't know nothing about me. So let me make that self clear. But let me also make sure you understand something clear. COVID started, for everybody that don't understand, March 16th of 2020. All right? March 16th of 2020. You couldn't do eyebrows, you couldn't do lashes, you couldn't paint no nails because you couldn't be around people. I kept a roof over top of your head. I kept food in your mouth. I kept you getting a car to make sure you drive. My son ensured that you had a car that you couldn't pay for. Anybody that had that type of mentality or mindset to take care and provide for you, then so-called we have my grandson, which is my grandson. At the end of the day, he ain't want for nothing. You took him to deprive from him, and I still see where I could put some decent things in his lifestyle. Send him to school and pay for it, where he was learning his A's, B's, and C's. No public assistance here. He had it. You took from him because you figured that's a way to get back. But what you got back at is depriving your own child not to have a better life than you did. I make myself clear. You deprived him to have a better life than you did. And that's your own child. At the end of the day, what you did, that's between, like my wife said, you and God. But I want to put this out there because it's somebody that need to hear this. I said it before. Be careful who you let in your house. Because you can love people more than people love you. It's going on every day in, day out. People got alternative motives. And the only motive I can read in this whole story is you let somebody get up on somebody. And everybody, definitely young people, it was almost like the play. And y'all ran the play. But I want to clear another part of that statement up. Tyree ain't kicked no door in. Tyree ain't pried no door. He ain't come through the back door. He hit the code. We all got codes on doors. He hit the code on the door. Open the door.
Just like she had to go to our house.
Pretty much.
But would never have to worry about walking in here getting laid out.
But think about this. If I'm going in to get somebody, not taking my shoes off to walk up some steps and open a closed door to not know what's behind the closed door. I'm basically going in there to get in the bed. That's what I'm doing. This could have went either way, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all, don't God honest truth. This could have went either way, and I respect that. But at the end of the day, if Tyree would have known who was in that house, he wouldn't have put himself in that situation. And he was in that situation because of his love of what he thought was genuine. And genuine wasn't nothing but a fraud, a fake, and a phony.
Materialistic.
Exactly what I got. I can tell you over the years, I sat back. These people can't tell you nothing about me because I ain't talked to them like that. And I said just like that. Over the years, I was a high and by guy. You know it. I was a high and by guy. But now I'm going to speak out because I'm going to say this. I got a daughter. No, am I going to disrespect? I got a daughter. God rest her soul, I had a sister. I got a wife and a mother. There's 4 women in my life.
And a niece.
And a niece.
And a granddaughter.
And a granddaughter. 2 granddaughters. All right? So I'm adding all that up, right? Here's my thing. And I go to say this, and those for the ones that's listening. You in a relationship, and what your relationship is about between you and your relationship, right? But when you figure that the relationship is over, you make sure that you understand that the relationship is over. Through this situation, made me really understand that the person that my son loved and thought he had that 100% trust. I don't use the word setup because I never said that, right? But you knew what was going on. You knew what was going on. You knew that when the person that provided for you, took care of you, you thought it was a thing to get up under his skin by running to the other, right? But here's the other part for you. Here, I took 100 pounds of shit to put it in took 100 pounds of shit to put it in a 10-pound bag. I had to go pick a man up to bring a man to my house. When I had a man that could come see me in his own vehicle. I don't make this stuff up. This stuff not made up. This is exactly what it is. But through love and respect, my man respected you. Nobody live like the Cosbys, and I'm going to say that 100 times. Nobody I know live like the Cosbys. Everybody got their issues. But one of the dangerous things you can ever mess with is inviting another man into another man's home. That's fine, point blank. Because I know Tyree, I knew Tyree pretty well. He wouldn't have did, if the shoe was on the other foot, it wouldn't have been the same thing. Because he had respect and decency. And he had some morals. But I had to get that off my chest. I say this about my grandson because at the end of the day when my wife started this out, and like she told y'all, it came from a text message that was developed on Easter. I had already had my sayings back at Christmas. And on Christmas, I made a call to say, hey, I like to say Merry Christmas to my grandson. And it was fuck you type situation and hung the phone up. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, I cut it off there for me.
You did.
I cut it off there for me. We went through the little court proceedings. I cut things off because here's my take on the situation. I can't go beyond whatever somebody want me to do, and that's fine. I have no issue with that. But what I can say, and I've had a few friends that been in that situation coming up, and I remember my past. What I can say is I feel sorry because my grandson has got the same blood, and this blood, that same blood that you laid with and had a baby with is my blood. It's a Richardson blood. And the son only got the same blood his daddy got. And I'm going to tell you this. Tyree Roy was a pistol coming up. And you going to have hell on your hands to deal with that young man by yourself. Mark my words.
So again, we just wanted to take this opportunity. It's not to bash nobody. Like, we beyond that. Let them live in their materialistic mindsets. Like, I go to work every day. My life is taken care of. Like, I don't need social media. And for all the people that say that we monetize off of this, check your facts. I monetized $1. His account is not monetized at all. This is all for the story for my grandson. When you have your own money, you ain't got to find ways to make money. So maybe you should learn that. Get your own. But this is not monetized. Story has been told, not sold. Any blogger, any article, any news outlet that reached out to me, let me know what I asked you for. Or what you paid me in return. Outside of the story. Show them receipts. Because you ain't got them. It's not for money. I don't do things for money. My son's life wasn't about money. I'll give up everything I got to see my child again. Everything. I would give up my last breath to give him breath. I absolutely would. When you born off of materialistic stuff, that's how you think. That's how your mindset is. That's not how we are over here. And so if you thought this was about money, you thought wrong. This is for Cody. When he gets older, to see what it really is. And when he does, I'm going to pray for you. Because like I said, at the end of the day, when he turned 18, 19, whatever age he is, Cody, we got your father chained for you. It won't get touched till we see you again. We got all his money that he put up. That's all yours. I don't need that. That's why I go to work every day. So I have a job. Take care of myself. I don't need none of that. All Tyrese stuff that he had, we ain't seen. We got a few pieces. I don't know if it's being saved for the boy to get out. I don't know. But I wish you the best, because that materialistic stuff don't mean nothing to us. But what will mean, when Cody's old enough, he will get what his father had for him. He will be taken care of. Unfortunately now, it is what it is. To Cody, I love you. I love you like you were my own son. No, I don't want to be your mother, as it was accused. I want to be your grandmother. I have 4 other grandchildren. I wanted to do what my son would have done for you outside of the life that they portrayed that we did. We will always be here for you. You will always be our family. As long as you okay, we okay. And I'm okay with that. I can't allow someone to destroy, not destroy, because you'll never destroy. I'm bigger than that, baby. Way bigger than that. Try to destroy who I am, what we believe in. You'll never be able to accomplish that. Because I know who I am. I know what I say. I know what my beliefs are. I don't hide behind social media. And I'm damn sure not hiding behind nobody else. It won't happen. And when the day comes, you'll know just as well as everybody else. Because this isn't a game of revenge. God has his own vengeance. His own. That's bigger than me. What I would want to happen, God has a whole nother plan. And when you turn your life over, what you probably need to do, you'll learn that. It took me a while. And you're right. It's not a day that I don't cry. Absolutely. I absolutely do. It's not a day that I don't wake up sad. Yes, I absolutely do. It's not a day that goes by that I don't think about my son throughout the day. Multiple times. 2 years later. My days don't get better. And I don't expect them to. But what I'm not going to do is let his name die in vain. So, again, thank you for everybody, all your support. We've seen it. Everybody that's been watching, like, it's surprisingly, you can walk past me and I know you watching the story. It's okay to say, I'm praying for you. Like,
keep your head up.
Keep your head up. You don't have to, like, hide that you're watching it. It's supposed to be watched for a reason. So, you can say that. I also want to thank everybody that shared the story and continue to share the story. We are, Tyrese's album is going to be released. He had 31 unreleased songs. It took me 2 years. I control everything that comes out of his portfolio. It took us 2 years to release. And when I tell you it's probably his best album, I keep saying every time I listen to it, he knew. He knew. And when you get to experience these 31 songs, you're going to say the same thing. Keep his legacy alive. People always say God doesn't make mistakes. I go to church. I'm a God-fearing person, but I think God made a mistake on this one. He took someone way too soon. If it was a car accident, I might could accept it a little bit better. If it was a freak accident, I might could accept it a little bit better. This is hard for me to accept. And I understand. We don't know our day, time, minute. But if I could have spoken to God, I would have rather I lived my life. I did everything I was supposed to do to allow someone else to just get a few more minutes, a few more seconds. It would have been worth it. He left his legacy. His album will be released on his birthday. We are grateful for all the love and all the support. Yes, each day is hard. Each day continues to be hard. This isn't made up. Like we don't have no makeup crew. We don't got no TV crew. This is real life. It's real life, raw emotions. And people need to learn that. His biopic will be coming out. I have to make sure every detail is right before we release it. And when I say every detail, I want the world to know who he was, the way he was, not how he was portrayed. So if it takes me 6 months to make sure every detail is given, it's going to take 6 months. His page, most days I wasn't even able to watch. Shit is gut-wrenching. I wasn't even able to watch his page most days. But I built up enough strength to allow the story to be told. And I'm glad it was told. I'm glad it will continue to be told. And hopefully it'll change the perception of someone else that might be going through something. Like, save yourself. Care about yourself first. Somebody that's for you for your money, they not with you. When we first got together 25 years ago, we've been married 25 years, been together 28 years. Did we have anything? I don't even remember. We was in high school. We grew together. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes he up. Like, that's how relationships work. It's never all in. Learn from that, y'all. Like, honestly, material stuff don't last forever. So, that's something you want to say?
No, I thank everybody for their time for watching tonight. And always remember, I done met a lot of people. I done helped a lot of people, and a lot of people that helped me. I'm all based about community, and I think that's what our family genuinely on. Tyree knows so many people because we knew so many people. And by knowing so many people, just lending a hand, helping out, just being a good, genuine person has taken us a long way. So I just wanted to make sure that's told.
Celebrate him. I know his brother's doing something for him. Like, celebrate him the way that he would celebrate. He turned 22. It's my favorite number. So we going all the way up. His gravesite is on Friday. Is going down. And we're going to continue to celebrate his life. Yeah, I'm going to cry. I'm going to be sad. But I'm okay. Trust me. I'm okay. Don't feel bad for me. Just save yourself. Continue to pray for his sisters. Continue to pray for our kids haven't been right. I'm not right, but I'm strong. Pray for them. Like, they are going through it. To lose a sibling is probably just as hard as losing a child. So we just want to make sure that, cherish your loved ones while they're here. If y'all arguing, like, go give them a hug. Like, it's not worth it. And I know there's tons of people out there that have lost their kids like we have, and can relate to our pain. But I only want 2 people in this world to experience this type of hurt. And I already told y'all who that is. Everybody else, cherish your family, because you won't know what it's like. We love everybody. The main thing, don't let nobody in your home. Yes, please. Take anything that we could have shared. Again, this wasn't to bash anybody. We're not them type of people, whether they want us to be or not. In the end, God has a say. So I don't have to get on here and say what y'all already know. God will deal with that. Continue to keep us in prayer. Continue to keep Cody in prayer. My God, Cody needs it. Please, y'all. Keep him in prayer.
They lifted.
Keep him lifted. I know his dad is watching over him, but keep that baby boy lifted. He will need it. I'm not gonna say he's gonna have a hard road, because I know his dad's gonna have his best interest in hand. But keep him lifted. Just keep us all. Thank you for taking the time to sit with us. Thank you for the time for hearing us out. Again, 426, his album's dropping. It's not monetized. His proceeds go straight to his son's estate, which we already have set up. This baby boy is already set. So anybody thinks this is monetary, go find your life somewhere, because we ain't got time for that. But support him. Support his life, support his dream. And by supporting him, you're supporting his son, who will be set when he is 18 and he ready to become set. So keep us in prayer. Keep calling the state's attorney. They said y'all flooding it. Listen, you opened up way more doors than we ever would have expected. So one thing you should never do is lie under oath or change your story. Just don't say shit. Plead the fifth. I don't know what happened. That's what I would have said if I was going to lie. Just being honest with y'all. I'm keeping it 100. I don't know. You can't never come back and say I didn't know. But again, when people feel like they got to tell their truth, they actually tell the truth. And thank God for that. God is exposing things in so many ways. So we love you all. Tyree loved you all. The love and support has been overwhelming. The flowers, the fruit baskets, like if it made it all feel like we were back in June again. Again, we received it all, and we thank you. We weren't telling this story for any of that. We was only telling this story to get his story out. So keep him in prayer. We're going to continue to celebrate him on his page. Again, it's me now celebrating him. I don't think I need the publicist to come back in, but if she got to jump back in with her facts, she will. So if y'all have pictures, videos, we're going to allow people on Sunday to come live and share some of your best stories that you might have had with him. We're going to save these lives for his son. So when you see us go live Sunday, that's your opportunity to want to join, to share maybe a fun time, a fun opportunity. I know we all have so many stories. Tyree was our wild child. I got so many stories. He was definitely the youngest in charge. He gave me the more gray hairs, but that was still my baby. And so, just on Sunday, if you want to share some words of encouragement for him, his son, his memory, it probably will be a part of his biopic. Just ask to join in, and that will be your opportunity. Enjoy your Friday nights. Again, keep us in prayer. I'm going to be okay. Yes, I'm going to cry. I'm going to have my days, but guess what? God got me, and that's all I need. As long as I got him, I know I'm going to survive each and every day.
To be told, not so.
And don't forget, the story's being told, not sold. I don't need views. I don't need a YouTube channel. His YouTube channel is for his music. I don't need none of that. We just want to tell a story. And so now it's been told. Enjoy your evening. Bye.
Autumn was playing both men perfectly, giving Tyree just enough hope while building her exit strategy with Trey. But here's where this story takes an unexpected turn. After Tyree's death and Terrence's conviction, most people thought the case was closed. Justice had been served, right? Wrong. Because Tyree's family started speaking out publicly about what they believed really happened that night. They posted phone conversations that revealed disturbing details about the true nature of Autumn and Tyree's relationship. And that's when Autumn Anderson made the biggest mistake of her life. Instead of staying quiet, instead of letting sleeping dogs lie, Autumn decided to tell her story on social media. She created YouTube videos, went on live streams, and gave detailed accounts of what happened that night. Her goal was clearing her name and countering the Richardson family's accusations. The result was exactly the opposite. Listen to how she described the most traumatic night of her life. And I haven't told this story in so long because this is something that I literally have to relive every day. It's very traumatizing.
And so he comes to my mom's house unannounced. He did not tell me that he was coming. We didn't have no conversation after we had got off the phone about him speaking to Cody and my mom's phone being lost in the airport. He came unannounced. He didn't tell me. I was unaware that he was coming or had plans even to come. He comes to my mom's house at 3:28. He comes through the door. Now, when he comes to my mom's house, that gives from 2:50 to 3:28. That's almost a 40-minute time gap in between the time where we went upstairs to go to sleep until he came. I was asleep, and to my knowledge, Trey was asleep. We didn't have sex, nothing. We literally laid down in the bed. We was taking shots a little bit, like, so we sleepy. It's 3 in the morning. We lay down and go to bed. I wake up to shots. I seen some comments like, how do you sleep through 16 shots? I hopped up to the first one. Trey is literally sitting up in the bed, shooting in the door frame, and I see Tyree's silhouette in the door frame. I thought that Trey was going to think like he was there off the strength of me. And so I jump up and I run out of the room. When I'm running out of the room, Tyree is literally falling into the room as he's being shot. He was shot 16 times. When I run out of the room, I run across the hallway to my sister's room. And my sister is literally like at her door, locking her door. Like I hear it, like I hear like her footsteps, like I hear her like just lock her door, like she didn't even know what was going on. It's gunshots, like it's 16 shots. And like 16 shots, that happens fast, but like when you in a room or like next to something like that, like it just seems like it's going on forever. So I'm at her door like whispering like, call 911, call 911, call 911. And she is who called 911.
Okay, what's up on your call? Okay, just I just want your name? Tracy. Okay, tell me exactly what happened. I was sleeping. I was here next to me. I need to answer me out. 39 like stop work. Okay, tell me what happened. I don't know. If you speak with okay, I'm getting somebody else is getting help started, okay? I'm gonna have more questions. No, I need somebody. They are getting help started. I'm gonna continue to ask questions, okay? Are you with him now? Yes, I'm just going crazy. How old is he? 1 year old. Is he awake? No. Is he breathing? Okay, just to clarify, is he breathing? No. I don't know. No, he's sorry. Yes. Casey? Yes. Okay. I'm sending a paramedic to help you now. Stay on the line. Okay? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I'll get him a complaint for that. Casey, this is 911. Do you know who shot him or where the other person is? No. Hello? Hello? You don't know? No. Okay. Is there a weapon there? No. Can you still there? Hello? Are you? Okay, I'm here for you. I'm just going to continue to ask questions. If there's a way you're available, send somebody to get down when you have it. Okay, listen carefully. Are you right by him now? Are you right by him now? No. You know, phone as close in as possible, don't hang up. Do it now and tell me when it's done. Do what? Get the phone close enough? Get the phone as close in as possible, don't hang up. Do it now and tell me when it's done. Okay, listen carefully. Lay him flat on his back on the floor or ground and remove anything under his head. Remove what? Remove anything under his head. Lay him flat on his back on the floor. Okay, listen carefully. Now I'll tell you how to do chest compression. Make sure he is flat on his back on the floor or ground. Place the heel of your hand on the breastbone, right between the nipples. JC, we have to do this. Place the heel of your hand on the breastbone, right between the nipples. Put your other hand on top of that hand.
Okay, so put my hand on top of the other hand.
Yes. Now I want you to pump the chest hard and fast at least twice per second and 2 inches deep. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. I want you to pump every time I'm counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, keep going.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's okay. You're doing great. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have a lot of help on the way. Keep going, JC, okay? JC, are you still doing some practice? Okay. Over and over. Don't give up. This will keep them going until the paramedics arrive. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Is your friend old? How old is he?
20 years old. Hey, come here, buddy. Come on, bud. Come on, buddy.
Okay, are you gonna go back? We have to go back and do compressions, okay?
Mom, this is update on concussion.
Okay.
Hey, come on, boy. Let's go. Come on, baby. Come on. Okay, now please up on the...
Okay, just let me go in there right there with you, okay?
Come on, baby.
The police are here.
The police are here.
Okay, are they right with you?
No, they're not touching my sister. I'm going to spin it on the thing. Come on, baby.
Okay, I can go ahead and let you go. You're welcome.
She is who called 911. Trey runs past me in the hallway while I'm at her door downstairs, and he runs out. I run to the top of the steps because he's running downstairs. He's fumbling with his shoes, and I'm just yelling. I'm like, what did you do? What did you do? Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. And so and I haven't told this story in so long because this happened 2 years ago, and this is something that I literally have to relive every day. It's not one day that I don't think about something from that day. It's not one day where I'm not reminded of what happened that day. When I tell y'all, this is something that I've been trying to heal from since the day that it happened. So for me to come on here and tell y'all these details, it's very hard for me to do that. It's very traumatizing.
But here's the thing that had viewers raising their eyebrows. Her demeanor didn't match her words. She claimed the experience was traumatizing, but her tone was casual, almost conversational. She said she thought about it every day, but she showed no visible signs of distress while telling the story. More importantly, her story contained inconsistencies that raised serious questions about her credibility. She insisted that she and Trey were just sleeping when Tyree arrived, but her own timeline suggested they had only been in bed for about 40 minutes. Each detail, when examined closely, painted a picture of someone who wasn't telling the complete truth. And then something happened that nobody saw coming. The case was reopened. Calvert County Police Department had been watching Autumn's social media statements. Her public comments had provided them with new avenues to investigate. They were no longer just looking at Terrence Kenneth Yancey as the sole perpetrator. They were looking at potential conspiracy charges. As one investigator put it, when you're not honest, you end up telling on yourself. Sometimes people really do talk themselves into handcuffs. And that's exactly what Autumn Anderson might have done. Her desperate attempt to clear her name on social media may have just provided investigators with the evidence they needed to build a conspiracy case against her. Because the question that haunts everyone who has followed this case remains, was Autumn Anderson an innocent victim caught in a tragic situation, or was she the mastermind behind an elaborate murder plot that finally went too far? Her own words might just be what seals her fate. Roger Richardson's words continue to echo. If Tyree would have known who was in that house, he wouldn't have put himself in that situation. And he was in that situation because of his love of what he thought was genuine. And genuine wasn't nothing but a fraud, a fake, and a phony. That's the heartbreak of this entire case. Tyree died because he loved someone who didn't love him back. He died because he trusted someone who had been planning his replacement for months. He died because he believed in family while someone else was destroying it from the inside. The question that still haunts everyone who has followed this case remains, was Autumn Anderson an innocent victim caught in a tragic situation, or was she the mastermind behind an elaborate murder plot that finally went too far? Terrence Kenneth Yancey serves his 18-year sentence, but legal experts suggest he might be willing to cooperate with authorities if it means reducing his time behind bars. What would he say if given immunity? What details about that night might he reveal if he no longer had to protect someone else? The truth, as it often does, remains somewhere in the shadows. But what's becoming increasingly clear is that Autumn Anderson's decision to speak publicly about this case may have been the worst mistake of her life. Because when you live a life built on lies and manipulation, the truth has a way of catching up with you. And in Autumn's case, her own words might just be what seals her fate. The investigation continues. The Richardson family's fight for justice continues. And somewhere in those 3,000 hours of recordings, the complete truth about what happened to Tyree Richardson may finally come to light. This case reminds us that domestic violence doesn't always look the way we expect it to. Sometimes the victim is the one who gets painted as the aggressor. Sometimes the real violence is emotional and psychological, happening behind closed doors where no one can see it. Sometimes the most dangerous person in your life is the one who knows exactly how to make you feel like you can't live without them, while they're already planning to live without you. Stay safe out there, trust your instincts, and remember, these stories aren't just entertainment. They're warnings, they're lessons, and they're reminders that justice sometimes takes longer than we'd like, but it has a way of finding the truth eventually. If this story resonates with you, if you see yourself or someone you know in these patterns, please reach out for help. Because Tyree's story didn't have to end this way, and yours doesn't either. Rest in peace, Tyree Richardson. Your story has been told, your voice has been heard, and your fight for justice continues through the people who loved you most. And if you want to stay updated on cases like this, if you want to hear more stories about domestic violence and the fight for justice, make sure you subscribe to Trending Crime Vault. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we're just getting started. These stories matter. These voices need to be heard. And together we can make sure that victims like Tyree Richardson are never forgotten. Subscribe now and let's continue this fight for justice together.